Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Big Mouth, Season 5, Episode 10.
Renew Year's Eve.
Renew Year's Eve. So that was kind of fun having the fall.
Yeah.
Because sometimes certainly with traditional television, you get the same like 4 or 5 holidays.
Yeah, every time. I would like to do a mini walk back of my complaints from the previous episode.
Oh.
Because this was lovely.
Oh.
I really liked how it wrapped up.
Uh-huh.
I still think there was like too much anger, and I just can't forgive the Christmas episode, but this was really, really nice. I liked the way it went out. I think the big swing of having human Nick Kroll in this episode was perfect.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I liked it.
As they were doing it, I was like, oh, are we going to do this? This is a big swing. And then he was like, yeah, I know it's a big swing. We'll find out.
I think in the first place, acknowledging it and then having that be the crux of finding out like the whole deal with Nick, I think it was perfect.
What do you mean?
Like having to speak to his future self is the thing that turned him around.
I guess my question is, what is it gonna mean going forward? Because I felt like
nothing.
This is the kind of show that can have it both ways.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna be like, are we sort of like venturing into that thing where it's like once a show sort of, usually sci-fi fantasy, depicts an afterlife, you kind of lose the stakes.
I don't think it'll be like that. I mean, they might bring it up once or twice. I don't, unless they like decide to like also do like John Mulaney and what's her name, Jessie Klein. I don't think it's gonna be like. Well,
and again, like I just said, I mean, the show they like to have it both ways. I'm actually so glad that they acknowledged the Will Arnett thing.
Yeah,
because I think up until now, I've just been saying Will Arnett's on this show.
Oh, no, I knew it wasn't the whole, because I looked it up because I also thought it was Will Arnett, and then it was just like, no, Nick Kroll does like four or 5 voices.
So we had Devin and Devon were renewing their vows, at least until high school. I like it. They don't spend too much time on them.
Yeah.
Although that is one of my favorite things. Anyone who watches the show typically knows that I love a ensemble. I love a cast of characters, a deep-rooted lore mythos, because we also got... I meant to say this earlier, but there was a big reveal about the ponytail killer at the end of season 4, I feel like. Or they like promised a reveal.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then in this episode, there was a person was like freed from the trunk of their car, and they're like, I know who the ponytail killer is.
Yeah.
And then they were hit by a car, and I was like, because I'm like, I just don't know what if and what is going to pay off from that.
Sure.
So I do sort of like this cast of characters and the Devin and Devon and even Gina. We never did get Gina Rodriguez back this season, but she was we could see her in
Gina
the show.
existed, yeah.
So basically they went to Human Resources, which this was sort of a backdoor pilot because it's going to be a spinoff show.
Oh.
Just about the monster.
Monsters.
I think it's going to be very Monsters, Inc.
Sure.
And so, and they sort of like redesigned it a little bit because in like when we saw it before, it was just sort of like colors.
Yeah.
But this time you could see like planet Earth in the background that I thought was interesting. And I'm curious. I don't know that we probably aren't going to cover it. I don't know. I'm probably going to see what it's like.
Sure.
I like any kind of ambitious sci-fi fantasy. I mean, as long as they can come up with monsters for different emotions.
I'm sure there's plenty. The love bugs and the hate worms already are like 2 new interesting things.
So yeah, Nick followed his hate worm there, and he was sort of, he was demanding a good hormone monster that I don't know that he got.
Why has he never been given Maury?
I don't recall if that's ever been.
I mean, obviously Maury is overworked now. He's got like 3 of the other dudes like are his, but I don't know. I just feel like Maury's okay. Like,
because they even mentioned, I forgot his name, but there was that like really sort of like buff angry one.
Oh yeah,
do you remember? It was like Steve or something.
He was funny.
But yeah, so I don't know that anything really paid off there. That's just where he met Nick Kroll and sort of like was.
Well, maybe, I mean, there wasn't really a cause for him to still have a hormone monster at the end of this episode. Maybe he'll get a new one next season.
So, Lola's always weird. She was weird this season.
Yeah.
there's a prophecy. She's maybe Sleeping Beauty. It's like,
well, her like pube guards or whatever were like telling her.
She was very certain it was Jay, and they weren't. But
Yeah.
she threatened to microwave them like her hamster, R.I.P.
Oh boy, yeah.
And I'm curious. I mean, this is the kind of show where they do carry on. The plots carry through seasons. So I guess maybe this prophecy will be coming back later. Yeah. I am so glad that she's not with Jay. I'm really invested in Jay and Matthew.
They're really cute. And they like, I loved, that was, Jay this season I think has weirdly been my standout, where it's like he finally is like in a place, he says it in this episode where he's like, Matthew makes me feel good, like about himself and stuff. And like he deserves something. And I do still feel bad that he can't do magic anymore, but I like
think they'll
Jay.
find a way.
He's so cute. And I think Jason Mantzoukas plays it really well.
And they could also balance each other out because Matthew could stand to sort of
loosen up a little.
Yeah. Jesse and Missy made amends. It was very standard, but also nice.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing we've been watching a lot of a very specific type of media lately. When Rachel and I just finished hours of The Real Housewives. And so I'm sort of in a place. So, I mean, we just finished tonight watching Impeachment. So I'm sort of in a place where I'm craving a character being like, you know what? I was wrong and I apologize for this. And so that scene was very personally cathartic for me, having a person take responsibility for their actions and apologize, not just say that they're doing that.
I agree.
But do it. And Missy's cousin showed up because her parents were woefully out of their depth. And her poor braids. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, she finally took them out and her hair is like new and fun. So that's something at least.
And so she and Jesse made up, and Mona was sort of let out of the pizza box she was being kept in, and they were able to transform Rochelle, the hate snake, into a love bug. Yeah. And she was beautiful, and she was like,
she was super into it. She was glad. I like that the life cycle of the love bug is to turn into a hate worm and then turn back into a love bug.
I don't know that that's necessarily the life cycle. Like, I don't know that that it's like seasons, but I think that is sort of what can,
based on the person they're with, I think they go in between. And then Nick also apologized to Jesse, which I thought was nice. That was like really cute too. I really liked this finale. I thought it did it well. Yeah, I was happy.
That was a lot of fun. I did enjoy covering it. There was some stuff to mine. Not exactly every episode, not exactly every bit, but I mean, as much as we have kind of shaded it, I will say that Christmas episode was probably one for the books. I don't think it's not gonna not come up in the future.
It's not that I think it was bad.
I do. I think it was bad.
I didn't like it. I think it was deliberate, but I didn't like it. So.
And sometimes that's what this is all about. Testing limits, testing boundaries, you know?
Well, Maury was, for part of the time, able to write his own jokes in this episode. And then when they were up there with Nick Kroll, Maury was like, can I write my own jokes again? And he goes, no, I don't like saying it. And that's when we got the Will Arnett thing. He goes, wait, you voiced me? I thought it was Will Arnett.
Truly, truly upsetting visual of Maury in the denim gimp suit.
Oh, that was tough, yeah.
If you thought Maury was upsetting as is.
Yeah. I don't find Maury as upsetting as Rick.
You get used to, of course, but I'm just saying, like, you get used to the designs, but the first time that I laid eyes on this, I was like,
oh, good. I also, just so we don't have that as the last image in our minds, I don't think that Nick Kroll is getting uglier.
Okay.
I find him appealing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. There's room for everybody.
If you like
fine.
to feel that way.
No, he's fine. So, okay. Well, like, as always, let us know what you think, and like, subscribe, soimwatching.com.
So I'm watching the show. Hashtag so I'm watching. No, is it?
I use the SIWTS as a hashtag.
No, for Cashapp and.
Oh, just at so I'm watching.
Yeah, at. I don't know why I said hashtag.
$sign.
I'm tired. I'm also a little sick. We're done.
Bye.
Bye.